Hello everyone, my name is Phoebe Amaike and you're welcome to another episode of Conversations Worth Having. Conversations that I believe every young Nigerian should be having if we actually intend to get Nigeria right in our own generation. So if you haven't yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? If you have not yet hit that notification bell, what are you waiting for? Please subscribe. Thank you. I'm going to take a detour from the Know Your Right series and talk about some things that I find very absurd with Nigeria today, some things that defy human logic, some things that just don't make any sense, some things that fuck with your mind because they don't make any sense. If they make sense to you, maybe you can engage me in the comment sections, but they don't make any sense to me. No sense. Guys, what do you think these things are? Number one, you know how in official functions, government functions, ceremonies and all of that, how we always start these things with the national anthem. Very good, very a show of patriotism, even in secondary schools, nurseries and universities. Before anything goes on, before the start of business, they typically sing the national anthem. This is where the problem is. I don't think we actually listen to the words of this national anthem. I don't think. Because if we do, we know that there's a lot of contradictions. You know this part where they say the labors of our heroes past shall never be in vain? Okay. Surprisingly, I think the labors of our heroes past is already in vain. Because we don't know who these people are. I can tell you for a fact that my own generation, we didn't do history. When I was in secondary school, we didn't do history. And in the next 5, 10, 15 years, nobody's going to remember who Awolowo was, or who Abiola was, or what Nnamdi Azikiwe did, or who Shehu Shagari is or was. Why? Because they're not teaching history in schools. They are not teaching history in schools. They're not teaching history in secondary school. Those who actually go to the university to study history, it appears as if maybe it is a course that those who God has forsaken study. So, like, what is the future? What is your future in history? Why not study law, study engineering, or become a doctor? Nobody is teaching history. So, how are we supposed to know who the heroes are and what their labors are if we don't teach history? Like, I don't understand it. I don't even understand how our national anthem does not even talk about the history that we've had. No matter how terrible that past is, we need to embrace our past. As in, I don't understand this grand, plan to just erase our history. We've not had the rosiest of histories, but that is not peculiar to Nigeria alone, guys. It's not. Britain has had its own nasty history. France has had its own nasty history. The USA, America, they've had their own civil war. They've had their history with slavery and how they were defending the slave trade. They've had Germany produced Hitler. They're not denying it. It is part of their history. You cannot erase that. Why do we want to erase why do we want to deny it? Why? Guys, I don't understand it. Just do a simple Google search. Check the lyrics of the French national anthem. Guys, that anthem, the words of that anthem is very, very bloody. It is very, if you've heard about the French Revolution, their national anthem embodies it. If you read if you're constantly reminded of what you're coming from, you know what you're supposed to be aspiring for. The average Nigerian now the average young Nigerian is actually aspiring for, just to get money, want to leave the country. And while those things might not be necessarily bad aspirations, that is not what we need to actually move the country forward. So I don't understand why we don't teach history. I don't understand. Another thing that I find very absurd, is this not too young to run shit? Yes, I said it. I believe that it is nonsense. Why would I say it's nonsense? Most of the leaders that we've had, both past and present, we've had leaders, transition from military. The same leaders, military, they become reformed, They become democratic leaders and all the nonsense that has been going on in our government. So that means that we've had recycled leaders, leaders that were there from independence, leaders that were there from, post-independence, and leaders who are present, who are superimposing themselves now. Now, why is this so absurd? It's absurd because as at 1960, which is our independence, guess how old Obasanjo was? You will not believe it. Obasanjo was 23 years of age. Shehu Shagari was 18. Guys, Shehu Shagari was 18. I think Gowon was 26 or 23. I can't really recall now. These guys, as our independence, were way over 30. Now, let's assume that they didn't really do so much at independence, and most of them came into prominence after some of the coups that went on and the Civil War of 1967. Let's add an extra 10 years to their years. So let's say at the time of the Civil War, Obasanjo was 33. Shehu Shagari was 28. Gowon was 33. Even Ojukwu was 37. Nzogu was, I think, 33. These people were well over under the age of 40. But now, we, the younger generation of Nigerians, are too young to rule. Who is kidding who? And it becomes even more painful because these people that have been consistently in government have not improved, and they have robbed younger generations the opportunity to lead and to govern. I understand that there's a level of experience that comes from, being in governance, being in politics and all of that. And, such experience is good for guidance. But to outrightly exclude a generation or generations from the opportunity to bring new insights, fresh blood, for the purpose of development of this country, I think it is preposterous. It's beyond logic. And it's almost unbelievable that for a country that the average population's age is like 18.5/19, that means that the average age, because we have younger Nigerians than we have older Nigerians. So for the average age to be 19, but of all the young people in this country, we have a 90-something-year-old leading us. Guys, now, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. The third thing, now I'll call it the poor mocking the poor. If Dangote, with all his money as the richest black man on the earth, cannot make Nigeria rich, Nigeria is fast becoming one of the poorest countries in the world. But Dangote, who is the richest black man in the world, his wealth is not enough to make Nigeria rich. How do you think that you, with your maybe 100 million or your 10 million in your account, how do you think you weigh in the larger scale of things that will give you the boldness to mock another Nigerian because they don't have as much as you? Do you know that at the end of the day, we are all still bearing the same surname? You are a Nigerian, I am a Nigerian, regardless of your money, except maybe they'll start making passports for rich Nigerians that is written on the green passport that this is a rich Nigerian. Except that eventually happens. But if that doesn't happen, we are all carrying the same green passport. From afar, they can know that this is a Nigerian passport. And they will treat you with as much disdain as they will treat somebody who is poor. Because we are all Nigerians. So I don't understand why a richer Nigerian, richer in quotes, will be treating another Nigerian who doesn't have as much with disdain. It's not your fault. It's not their fault that they are poor. It is the leadership's fault. It's the government's fault. So I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Guys, these are just some of the things that I thought too. I'm pretty sure that there are a lot. What are the things that you think are absurd in Nigeria? let's have that discussion in the comment section, because I really want to know. Like, I'm really psyched up about what is the things that we do that defy human reason and logic. There are many. If you liked this video, please don't forget to give a thumbs up and join me in the comment section so that we can talk about more absurd things that happen in Nigeria that don't make any sense. Please don't forget to subscribe, and until I come your way again next week, Sunday, please keep safe. Bye.